Gospel reading is from Luke chapter 15, verses 1 through 32. Many tax collectors and sinners came to listen to Jesus. Then the Pharisees and the teachers of the law began to complain. "Look, this man welcomes sinners and even eats with them." Then Jesus told them this story. Jesus said, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger son said to his father, 'Give me now the part of your property that I am supposed to receive someday.' So the father divided his wealth between his 2 sons. A few days later, the younger son gathered up all that he had and left. He traveled far away to another country, and there he wasted his money living like a fool. After he spent everything he had, there was a terrible famine throughout the country. He was hungry and needed money. So he went and got a job with one of the people who lived there. The man sent him into the fields to feed pigs. He was so hungry that he wanted to eat the food the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. The son realized that he had been very foolish. He thought, "All my father's hired workers have plenty of food, but here I am, almost dead because I have nothing to eat. I will leave and go to my father. I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against God, and I have done wrong to you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son, but let me be like one of your hired workers.' So he left and went to his father. While the son was still a long way off, the father saw him coming and felt sorry for him. So he ran to him and hugged him and kissed him. The son said, 'Father, I have sinned against God, and I have done wrong to you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Hurry, bring the best clothes and put them on him. Also, put a ring on his finger and good sandals on his feet. And bring our best calf and kill it, so that we can celebrate with plenty to eat. My son was dead, but now he is alive again. He was lost, but now he is found.' So they began to have a party. The older son had been out in the field. When he came near the house, he heard the sound of music and dancing. So he called to one of the servant boys and asked, 'What does all this mean?' The boy said, 'Your brother has come back, and your father killed the best calf to eat. He is happy because he has his son back safe and sound.' The older son was angry and would not go into the party. So his father went out and begged him to come in. But he said to his father, 'Look, for all these years I have worked like a slave for you. I have always done what you told me to do, and you never gave me even a young goat for a party with my friends. But then this son of yours comes home after wasting his money on prostitutes, and you kill the best calf for him.' His father said to him, 'Oh, my son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But this was a day to be happy and celebrate. Your brother was dead, but now he is alive. He was lost, but now he is found.'"
And here is that prodigal son's entreaty via a Japanese retelling of this based on a Japanese 12th century melody.
To Thank you, choir. War on the European continent, again, makes you see things differently. With a nuclear arsenal lurking in the background, suddenly you see things very differently. A child's new diagnosis with a lifelong disease makes me see things differently. Facing cancer and fighting it makes you see things differently. When you retire, I am told, you see things differently. Being poor and hungry, far from your home and your loving parent, can make you look at things differently. The main thing, it seems to me, is that you learn to see things differently. See things more honestly, perhaps. See things that you never took into account before, and suddenly you see their value and their worth at last. Do you think that's what that wretched, selfish, greedy younger son is trying to teach us in this tale? What are we called to learn from the resentful, self-righteous older son in this parable? Are we learning about what a loving parent is? The one who goes overboard in celebrating. Is this what we're supposed to hear in this parable? I am not sure. For you, I'm not actually even sure what Jesus was trying to teach in this parable. Because New Testament scholarship tells us all parables are, here's a fancy word for today, polyvalent. Multiple meanings. Polyvalent. I understand it's used in math and chemistry, but by God, we're using it in the parables too. It means that they have multiple meanings and multiple purposes in your hearing it, and in Pam's reading of it, and in your heart experiencing it. Polyvalent. There you go. So it may be that I can't tell you what this parable means for you because it is polyvalent. You may, and certainly I know I have in my life, had to put myself in it and dig around in it. Ask myself, who am I in this particular tale? So are you the younger son? The elder son? Are you the strangers in that foreign land who helped the younger son squander everything he had? Are you that loving parent, heartbroken, yet hoping? Are you the one who's loving the lost and not knowing where they are? Are you the one who's ecstatic to see the one you thought was dead alive again? Back from the dead. So who are you? I can't tell you. But I will say this. Look around. Look around as if you were the one almost dead from hunger. Look around as if you were the one alone and miserable, poor and a stranger. Or look around as if you were the one who has burdened your heart and soul with that self-righteous anger of the older son, that resentful spirit, that mean sense of duty. Look around and then realize it changed. What changed? The way you saw your world. Somehow it changed. Whether you saw it selfishly or angrily, churlishly, isn't that a great word? Churlishly, or anxiously, something changed and you saw the world differently. Could that be part of the message of this parable? What did we finally see? What did those children of that loving parent finally see? They were not alone. They were still looked for, waited for, hoped in, hoped for by someone who loved them. Still. They were still gifted every day, every hour, with riches, with everything they needed, in spite of the words of that angry elder son. You have everything, the parent says. And to the one who comes back only to be a servant, he gives everything. You're still loved. You're still lovable. Younger son, older son, in spite of the selfishness, the resentfulness, the arrogance, the cruelty, and the misery, and the insecurity of these pathetic children, you are still loved. Nowhere close to perfect. Nowhere close to perfect. And yet, finally, they can see things differently. They have eyes at last to see the riches around them. The graciousness of God as the parent in this story who gives God's self to each of them, to you and to me. Did you notice the children don't get what they deserve? I hope you saw that. We know how merit works. We live in a meritocracy, and we know how justice works, we think. And this story is not about the reward for meritorious behavior, nor is it a story about the just punishment inflicted on wrong behavior. It isn't. God offers us the terrible richness of loving care and of joyous reunion, even when we're eminently unworthy of it. And that's a parable when it turns your expectations on their heads. I think Jesus invites us into the parables so we can see differently. So that we can see with awe, see with gratitude, so that we have lists of gratefulness stuffing our heads and pouring out of our mouths. Jesus isn't telling you what to do it right. And you can make of this parable what your heart tells you you need to make of this parable. But I will tell you what I see right now. Wake up and look at the world differently. Are you the son in the pigsty, hungry and lonely, far from home, wake up. You can go home. Are you the elder son, trapped in your resentment, your insecurity, your anger? Wake up. You can find peace in your heart again. Do you want to be that loving parent? That parent who's got that heart so filled with joy that they spread a table for vast celebration? Do you want to be that bold and that generous? Wake up. Look, you can be. See the blessings. See the beauty. See the terror and the turmoil that come when your eyes are truly open and you are fully alive. For me, today, I want to invite you to see things differently. Live with purpose, even if your purpose is to go home and beg for help. Go home like that younger son and beg for help. Or, like that elder son, speak. Speak your misery. Speak your resentment, your flaring insecurity. And then, as you are face to face with true and honest acceptance and love, see how it no longer dominates your life. It finally fades away in the face of love. You and I, once upon a time, as that loving parent declared in the reading of today's gospel, once upon a time, before we could see differently, we were dead. And as the parent says, behold, this loving one is alive again. Alive again. Find the courage to look at the world fresh, differently, new, and it will change you. It can heal you and me and the world. May your eyes